Labor is celebrating the passing of its mining tax through Parliament. It will bring in $10 billion over the next 3 years, but only if it survives a High Court challenge, and Tony Abbott's pledge to get rid of it.
Wayne Swan got himself so excited.
Great historic Labor reform.
He got kicked out of Parliament.
The Treasurer will remove himself from the chamber.
There's a lot of emotion in this for Labor. The first attempt at a much bigger tax helped bring down Kevin Rudd. Fixing it was a foundation promise for Julia Gillard, and today she struck back at those who'd scoffed.
I think I'm entitled to go scoreboard, and at the moment it's running more in my favour than yours.
The tax will raise $10.6 billion over the next 3 years, some of it going to boost superannuation for 8 million workers. Labor also planning to cut business tax by 1%.
It will strengthen our economy, it will strengthen investment and it will strengthen employment.
But the business tax cut still has to be passed, and the opposition says it is business, not the government, that bears the burden for the superannuation hike.
We are absolutely 100% committed to repealing the carbon tax and the mining tax.
And then there's the possible High Court challenge. The billionaire miner Andrew Forrest says he's up for it. The WA government ready to join in.
This is basically a tax on Western Australia.
Just like your neighbour turning up and saying, well, I've decided to sell your living room.
The opposition says it will push billions of dollars in investment overseas.
In 10 years' time, when the mine you're working in is mined out, there will not be a mine to replace it.
The Prime Minister says it is about ordinary Australians getting a fair share.
Put simply, it meant we determined to stand for the benefits to the many rather than to the privileged few.
Hugh Rimmington, 10 News.
Hugh joins us now, and Hugh, mining billionaire Clive Palmer has launched an extraordinary attack on the Greens.
Well, that's absolutely right. Clive Palmer says the Greens are being funded by the CIA, which wants to destroy Australia's coal industry. Now, Clive Palmer's argument is that the United States government wants to get rid of Australian coal, or at least limit it, so that the American industry can benefit. Now, Green groups have said that they have been funded through an organisation called the Rockefeller Foundation. This is a philanthropic organisation in the United States, but Clive Palmer says it's all a CIA front, and he says the Greens themselves are part of the conspiracy.
The Greens in this coming state election, all their candidates should resign if they're being funded by an offshore political power. It's tantamount to treason, and something needs to be done about it.
Now, Greenpeace says it gets no foreign government funding. The Greens leader Bob Brown puts it much more simply. He says the whole thing is just stupidity.
All right, thank you. Political editor Hugh Rimmington in Canberra.